Washington, D.C. For more on the conflict in Iraq, I spoke to Roby Barrett, the Middle East Institute's area expert. Here he explains his doubt that a new prime minister would solve Iraq's sectarian divide.
There's been too much blood. There's been too much chaos. There has been too little cooperation. And now the Iranians are going to be very, very pointed in their attempt to protect their interests in the region and their influence in Baghdad. And so I think you're really not going to see very much change. There may be a temporary improvement, and of course everybody in the foreign policy community will talk about how things are looking up. We're hoping for improvement, but that's pipe dream.
How has the Islamic State been able to outmaneuver these U.S.-trained Iraqi government forces?
Well, the Iraqi army, the best units in the Iraqi army, the best equipped units in the Iraqi army are kept in Baghdad have been under Maliki's relatives in order to protect the regime from what Maliki actually fears the most is an internal coup. And so the other forces are spread all over the country without the proper support, without the logistical assistance that they need. And so ISIS manages to get local superiority and move around against these static, forces in defensive positions. And so I actually think that they're not as strong as they look, but they tend to move around and have more flexibility and are frankly more creative than the Iraqi government forces, and are able to put them on the defensive and achieve these gains that they have over the last couple of months.
Looking at the humanitarian situation, there are reports anywhere from 50 to 150,000 Yazidis trapped in this mountainous region. We're talking about 20,000 starving Yazidis have apparently made their way into Syria. How dire is this situation?
Well, it's serious, but in terms of Iraq, stop and think about the Kurds under Saddam Hussein when we were actually looking the other way as he gassed the Kurds. Stop and think about what happened at the end of the Gulf War when we encouraged the Shia in the south to revolt, and when they did revolt, we sat back and allowed the government in Baghdad to basically destroy the movement. Look at what was happening to the Kurds until we declared the no-fly zone. This is endemic to the multi-ethnic, multicultural, conflicted landscape in Iraq. And no one should be surprised that this is happening. No one should be surprised that the Christians are being persecuted and driven out all around Iraq. This is a part of the ongoing chaos that was created in 2003, 2004, 2005.